Hey everyone, this is Mikedot here for OnRPG.com, and welcome to another episode of OnRPG's Kicktracker Report, a monthly web series focused on Kickstarter gaming projects that you should know about. For everyone that's new to this show, each month I go over a handful of new and ongoing Kickstarter gaming projects, take a quick look back at campaigns from previous episodes, and I give my thoughts on what makes some of these Kickstarter projects so special. For the month of March 2016, we'll start off with some Kickstarter gaming news. Sacrament, an upcoming fantasy MMORPG by Ferocity Unbound Core Studios, plans to launch its Kickstarter campaign very soon. Now, Sacrament is an MMORPG that's focused all about bringing the genre back to its roots by steeping the player in a world that's filled with exploration, teamwork, and player choice. Rather than creating yet another endless grindfest like most modern MMOs, Sacrament's gameplay allows players to enjoy the game however they want, whether it's by PvE, PvP, crafting, or even role-playing. They also plan to include creation tools for players to create new versions of existing content in the game, such as recreated dungeons, PvP, battlegrounds, and more. Along with a Western fantasy themed and skill-based combat, Sacrament plans to be an MMO that won't easily be forgotten. Currently, there isn't too much gameplay footage available, but hopefully the team at Ferocity Unbound Core Studios will have plenty to show and tell when their Kickstarter campaign launches today. Invisigun Heroes by Somber Studios managed to reach its funding goal with over $36,000 donated from over 1,300 backers. Now, soon after the campaign's completion, the creator of the game began work on setting up a new backers forum, creation of some of the physical rewards including art prints and pins, as well as sending out a backer survey in order to collect some feedback on the game's development schedule going forward. A set date on the game has not been confirmed, but the developer is aiming to have the game released by the fourth quarter of 2016. Wandersong by Dumb and Fat Games was also successful with over $21,000 raised by over 900 backers. While achieving their base goal of $18,000, they were also able to sneak in an extra stretch goal, which includes extra side quests for the game. With the campaign's completion, the dev team is now focusing on sending out backer surveys for the game's ongoing development, as well as sending out various backer rewards as soon as possible. Consortium The Tower, the sci-fi themed first-person shooter sim, failed to meet its Kickstarter goal, only earning 100,000 Canadian dollars away from its 405,000 Canadian dollar goal. However, despite this campaign being unsuccessful, there's actually a ton of good news coming from it. The development team at Interdimensional Games has recently announced that their campaign will be jumping over to a more unique crowdfunding platform known as Fig, which is the first and only platform that offers both rewards and investment-based crowdfunding for independent developers. Now, this is very interesting because the big difference between Kickstarter and Fig is that a pledge on Kickstarter only amounts to being a voluntary donation with reward benefits, which is nice and all, but Fig actually lets the users become actual investors and are able to earn profit back on funding someone's project, which I think is really cool. Now, right now, there's only 5 other titles that have been used on the Fig platform for their campaigns, and the 2 most successful ones include Psychonauts 2 and Outer Wilds. For anyone that was still pledged for the Kickstarter campaign for Consortium The Tower, will now also be able to keep their rewards, as well as a copy of every future Consortium title as a free download forever. Along with earning some profits back on the game, it sounds like a pretty sweet deal to me. For our new and ongoing Kickstarter titles this month, first we have One Tower by Sky Reacher, an original MOBA title that's focused on head-to-head one-on-one battles. Now, while it contains a ton of gameplay elements that fans have come to expect from the genre, One Tower allows players to control their own minions in combat and features more simplified game mechanics so that anyone can jump in and play. Now, along with quicker battles that only last from 6 to 15 minutes, and the plans for a free-to-play business model, Sky Reacher hopes to make this game for the casual and competitive gamers out there who need a quick fix compared to other MOBAs on the market. Now, this whole concept is really interesting because with its setup, actually being able to control what your minions can do sort of harkens back to the genre's RTS roots, although in a very simplified way. Now, with a lower learning curve compared to other MOBAs, I think this will be great for casual play, and with the lack of teammates to worry about, I think there's much less pressure for new players to get into the game, and much less of a chance for a toxic community. Now, while I think this game probably won't take away from the more popular MOBAs like League of Legends or Dota 2, I feel this one can carve out a nice niche for itself if all of the features are executed well enough. At the time of this recording, this game has achieved over half of its base funding goal and needs about $24,000 to reach the finish line. This campaign ends on April 8th, 2016. Next we have Dragon of Legends, a 2D online RPG by Thrive Games. Inspired by Viking mythology, Dragon of Legends is a 2D action RPG where players can explore a world filled with adventure as they work with and against one of two warring factions who are battling for control of the said world. With the option to create and customize your own character, a robust combat system and skill system, as well as online co-op and multiplayer, Dragon of Legends plans to create an online experience that will be infinitely replayable. Now, I'll admit I've seen a handful of games that are just like this in the past few months and over the years, and visually it does look very similar to a few indie titles like Moon Hunters and Hyper Light Drifter. But what really sells me on this game is the promise of complete cross-platform play, as the game will be playable on PC, Mac, Linux, and mobile devices. They also plan to include content creation tools for players to make and submit their own content to be included in the game. Players can either submit user-created content to the game devs themselves, or let users vote through the game on a community page, and if it gets approved, the content will be featured in the game, and the creator can earn themselves some unique rewards. At the time of this recording, this campaign has already passed its $8,600 goal, but users can continue to pledge for the game to unlock stretch goals, which includes new playable classes, new creatures, and more PvE areas. This campaign ends on March 24th, 2016. Last up, we have a game called Failure, a futuristic tactical RTS by Dream Harvest. By taking elements from card battle games and tower defense games, Failure is a fast-paced RTS that provides a very unique style of gameplay for the genre. With a neat cyberspace visual style that's very Tron-esque, the game plans to have a dedicated single-player campaign that's centered on our society's need to obtain information and the lengths that some people will go to obtain it. With various deck building options, units to choose from, and more, this game seems to have everything that a strategy game fan could ever want. We also got an exclusive interview with the dev team behind Failure as we go into some cool details about the game and the ongoing Kickstarter campaign. So if you want to learn more about this title, just check out Andrew Skelton's interview in the links below. At the time of this recording, this campaign only has about 17% of its funding goal reached, and it needs about $42,000 in order to reach its base funding goal. This campaign ends on March 28th, 2016. And that's all the time I have for this news recap. If you'd like to learn more about the games featured in this video, just check out the links in the description below. But as always, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe for next month's recap. This is Mikedot saying over and out.